Hey everyone, and welcome to another installment of Tom's World. Today we are in far northeast Philly, right at the corner of East Keswick and Raylin Roads. The reason why we're here, as you can tell from the title, is we're here visiting the former site of where Benjamin Rush's home was that he was born in. And there's been some controversy as to its location online, but I've narrowed it down to exactly where it was, based on the website phillyhistory.org. It's a site where you can go onto the map and pinpoint any certain point in Philadelphia, and it will show you little red flags with pictures of what was around that area. And it was right here on the corner. So first, let's go take a look at the historical marker. All right, here's the historical marker that's right here on East Keswick, and you can see that it says Benjamin Rush, 1745 to 1813. Physician, humanitarian, educator, patriot leader. He signed the Declaration of Independence. That's right, he's one of our forefathers that you never really hear about unless you're from this area. He opposed slavery and supported public health and social reforms. Known as the father of American psychiatry, his house of birth stood here until 1969. And why the house came down was it was a air quote accident, that when these apartments here were being built, and the house was, we would be looking right at the house right now, but this house, and let me go across the street here so you can get a wider angle. But this house stood there, and I believe it was on the historical registry as well. And when they were making these apartments, it, air quote, accidentally got knocked down. And then they put these apartments up in its place conveniently. And, well, it's really busy here right now. There was no cars until I came up here. Anyway, so the house was accidentally torn down and they built these apartments, and then they named them Rushwood, which I think is a, forgive the term, kind of a ballsy move. I mean, maybe they did it in a means of penance or something like that, but still, I mean, this house was historic. And in some of the pictures that I saw on phillyhistory.org, they were taken in this intersection right here. And I'm going to see if I could try to get to the area where some of them were. So I'm out here in the middle of the road, and I believe this was one of the angles, and then there was another one to the right looking towards us, sort of. And I'm going to try to get that as well. I might need to back up a little bit here just to get the actual angle here. And then the other one would have been from behind the house, which the house seemed to be pretty close to the road. And I would assume, as many people back then, that they had like a lot of land. It probably went all the way down to Byberry Creek. So this would have been another angle that you could see on phillyhistory.org. And we'd be looking at like the side and back of the house. And then there was pictures taken from inside of here when it was all still just rubble, looking behind me at the houses here on Raylin Road. Another thing I would like to do, another rumor that I want to dispel, is down the street here. So we'll start walking down the street. And early on, when I started looking up Benjamin Rush, there was rumors that back here by the creek that his family was buried there. And that's not the case. They're actually in a cemetery downtown. And if anybody's buried back here, it's not them. But I was also told at one point that there was historical markers back there, to which I do not think that there is. But we're gonna see if we can get in there. If we can't get in this way, I'll go around and try to find another way in. Okay, now we're down in the parking lot. I wasn't sure if there was gonna be a fence here or not, and there is not. It's just a matter of finding a way in. There did seem to be a way in right next to the fence of the house, next to the apartments, but I know I've been told that the woman that lives there does not like people going through there. And this almost looks like a path here. Let's check it out. I'm gonna go in. Kind of a steep hill. But you'd have to imagine that all this land here did belong to the Rushes. Because back then, people had like farms and stuff all along in far northeast Philly. Got some muddiness going on here, and I'm only wearing my my sneakers again. Let's venture down here, because we'd be right in line with the house right now, and you would think that if there was some kind of burial ground, there would be a clearing. I'm just trying to see if we see anything at all. And of course, we just see our typical wooded area. There is concrete, like right here in front of me, if I can get to it. Let's see if we can. I almost hesitate to say it, but I have not run into any spider webs yet. So let's see. All right. This here is Byberry Creek. Yes, there is in fact concrete here, but it's just a little drain. If my camera would cooperate. There we go. No, it's not cooperating. My gimbal does definitely have a mind of its own. And for those of you who have heard me say gimbal, and I know people have asked me, you know, what the heck's a gimbal? I heard you say it so many times. It's a thing that the phone that I have, that I'm recording on, is in, and it holds it steady so that there's not a bunch of shakiness like you would see in my earlier videos. And I can actually put a link to the gimbal that I'm using. It's kind of outdated. There are newer versions of it, but it comes in handy. No pun intended. All right, maybe a little intended. See if we can get down further this way. See if there's anything to see. Okay, it took some doing and walking around and walking into spider webs, of course, but you can see right here is that concrete drain that I was talking about, the pipe. Not sure where that would go to, but straight up this way, we'd be looking up Raylan Road and then up to Keswick, East Keswick. And I'm just trying to see, it's like a impenetrable wall of weeds here and different types of ivy, not necessarily poison. But just stop and think for 1 second. One of our forefathers, somebody that signed the Declaration of Independence, actually one of the younger people to sign the Declaration of Independence, because keep in mind he was born, what was it, 1745? They signed it in 1776. So he was one of the younger people to sign it. And he probably played by this creek right here. He probably played in these woods as a kid. That's, I don't know, it's astounding to me to know that I'm standing in the same area that not only one of our, you know, founding fathers, but somebody who's been the topic of a handful of videos of mine, being over at Benjamin Rush State Park, and well, I guess that's about it. But still, you know, somebody from hundreds of years ago, who we all know the name of now, probably played around in here and got into trouble and stuff like that. See, now we're up against the back of the houses, and I think that was where the rumor was that these graves were. I just walked straight into a thorn vine. That's all right though. All in the name of exploration, right? So there's a lot of hay here. Hey, sorry, I had the dad joke time, you know. There's not a lot of real estate here to really have any kind of burial ground. And Yeah, I mean, I get that, like, with the water, it changes the land over time, blah, 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 but I really do think that they are truly just rumors that anybody was buried back here. If anybody was buried back here, it was part of the Native American tribe. I believe they're pronounced Lenape, who inhabited a lot of Pennsylvania, but especially around bodies of water. And they most definitely were here in this area, and they would be up and down the different creeks, Byberry, Pequessing, all of those. And I mean, they could be buried here. It's hard to say, because they definitely didn't use markers. I'm trying to figure out which way I came in here. It's a little overgrown in here. But we'll take one last look here at Byberry Creek. It's nice, it's peaceful back here, outside of the sounds of the weed whackers and whatnot in the distance. But it's pretty. If if you're into the outdoors, as I am, and if you're watching these videos, chances are you like them a little. So let's see if we can find where we came in and get the heck out of here. Walk through all this mud. And no, I still have not bought a new can of Deep Woods Off. So essentially I'm in here without any, so you could say I'm kind of naked in a way. I mean, obviously I'm dressed, you saw that. But yeah, so I'm gonna have to do like a quick tick check. I see ants crawling on my feet, but not seeing any ticks just yet. But when I get out of here, definitely gonna do a check. And we're out. And so there it is, the former site of Benjamin Rush's birth house, long gone due to greed, lies, and deception. It's a shame. We lost this. We lost the Red Lion Inn, which was on Route 13, burned down in the 90s. Suspicions that the owner burnt it down himself, but there can be no proof one way or another. And that was another place where a lot of forefathers had been. Paul Revere was there. He's not a forefather, but still. Paul Revere was there, George Washington was there, I think Abraham Lincoln was there. And now we have this in this place instead of Mr. Rush's house. It's a shame. The more time goes by, the more history that gets destroyed. And I understand that's the nature of things, but it just sucks. Anyway, if you enjoyed this video, please make sure to give it a thumbs up. If you haven't done so already, please hit the subscribe button. Once you do that, hit the notification bell. That way you'll be sure to be notified when I upload new videos or when I go live, which I do quite often. Just recently did one. Also, check out the link in the description for my merch shop. You can check it out. I have a couple different designs. I know I've been saying it for a while, but a new design will be coming soon. Maybe a few of them. I just have to sit down and come up with them, so. But go check it out. Go get your Tom's World merch. And I guess I'm going to get out of here. So I will see you all on the next one. Make sure you stay safe, stay healthy, and take care.